The NFL draft is almost here, and this year feels very different. There's no clear superstar at the top, but there's depth everywhere, which means the real winners won't be the teams picking early. It'll be the ones finding steals in rounds 2 and 3. Watch for names like Caden McDonald. He could be the first defensive tackle off the board, and Caleb Downs, who could go top 5 or fall out of the top 10 completely. And don't be surprised if we see a ton of trades, maybe 5, 6, even 8 in the first round alone. This isn't a flashy draft. It's a smart team's draft. So the question is, does your team trust its scouting, or are they about to reach? All right, we're officially inside of 1 week until the 2026 NFL draft. And if you're expecting a flashy headline-driven class at the top, this might not be that year. But don't get it twisted. This draft is going to matter a lot, because what we're hearing from around the league right now is simple. This is a depth draft, not a star-powered draft. And that completely changes how teams approach Thursday night. And Frank, I've talked about this before. Adam Klug's talked about this. Everybody that watches the NFL knows this is not a big draft. It's not like a big storyline draft. It doesn't have too much juice to it. Yes, it will be an NFL draft. Yes, NFL fans are going to be excited to see what their teams get. Yes, college fans are going to like to see where their players end up getting drafted. But overall, not a lot of hype around this year's draft.
No, there's really not. There's no unanimous number one type buzz, no generational quarterback dominating the conversation. Instead, you have front offices looking at a board where the talent from pick 10 to 50 really isn't all that different. And when that happens, two things follow. Usually trades really go up and mistakes also really go up. We're already hearing that there could be anywhere from 5 to 8 trades in the first round alone. And with teams like the Cardinals and Browns potentially looking to move back, while the Cowboys and Jets could be looking to try to move up to grab value before it disappears. So don't expect a quiet draft night, because it could be very, very chaotic in Pittsburgh.
The real value in this class is day 2, rounds 2 and 3, and that's where scouts believe you find starters and maybe even stars. Keep an eye on names like Chris Bell out of Louisville, Avion Terrell out of Clemson, and D'Angelo Pounds out of Indiana. These are the types of players that might not go round 1, but could end up bidding better than half the guys who do. And we see this every year. Teams that draft well on day 2 are usually the ones playing deep into January, because they're loading up on depth. You can find a lot of depth guys in the middle of a lot of different drafts. And you also want to look at linebackers, DB types, running back types. These are the ones not only that fill out your roster, but also help you a lot with special teams. You can find a lot of those players in the middle rounds, the non-sexy picks, if you will, that nobody likes seeing go in the first round. I like being able to draft guys like that a little bit more so, and always draft best available. Otherwise, you're getting into a jam. The teams that usually run into the biggest mistakes are the ones that look, oh, we got to get a receiver playmaker, because that wins the press conference, but that doesn't win you a lot of games. The biggest weakness, though, in the draft, defensive tackle, and that's an area that a lot of teams need.
Yeah, there's no dominant can't-miss interior guy this year, but one name continues to come up as the safest bet to go in the first round. That's Caden McDonald. He's not flashy. He's not a pass rush monster, but he's a true run stuffer. And in today's NFL, that still has value. He could sneak into the back end of the first round, or at worst, go early in the second round. And that's part of the reason why you saw the Cincinnati Bengals going after a guy like Dexter Lawrence from the New York Giants last week, was to try to fill that void that they know they're not going to be able to get during the draft.
Players with there's a lot of players that have wild ranges, because that's just how unpredictable this draft's going to be. And this is where things get even more unpredictable. Take Caleb Downs, for example. He can go as high as number 5 in the draft. He can also slide outside the top 10, depending how the big board breaks. Then there's Jordan Tyson. Talent-wise, he's a top 15 player, but he's got injury concerns, and that could push him into the second round. Kenyon Sadiq feels like one of the safer bets, a mid-first round tight end in a class that doesn't have much depth at that position. So you've got a lot of volatility, and that's what makes this draft very fascinating. So a few teams to really keep an eye on. Your New York Giants at number 5, Frank.
Yeah, they'd love to track back, but if they stay, Caleb Downs is very much in play, and they also have the number 10 now after trading Dexter Lawrence. The Pittsburgh Steelers are at number 21. No clear direction. They still don't know who their quarterback is. They filled needs in free agency. So this could be a true best player available pick for the Steelers. And the Philadelphia Eagles coming in at number 23. Don't be surprised if they go back to the trenches. Offensive line is very, very much on their radar, especially at the back end of the first round.
Never have too many linemen, man. You always
Yep.
got to load up on the linemen. So this draft is less about hitting a home run at the top and more about stacking quality across your roster. Definitely a depth class in terms of building depth with names that are not household names. And we're even hearing that there could be a run on offensive linemen. There should be. That's how you win in the NFL, is having good offensive linemen. So possibly up to 10 in the first round, which tells you exactly where the league is headed. Build inside out. That has created a lot of success for NFL teams in the past. Protect your quarterback, control the line of scrimmage. That is where you win in football, and that's where teams are going to win in the draft this year.